This is a brief overview of Eclipse. Eclipse is a software that we're going to be using to write Java programs in CO116. First of all, just to get an idea of Eclipse, we have the Eclipse UI or user interface. They have what they call a workspace, which we're going to see in just a moment. And that's kind of like a folder that you're programming in. It can have several subfolders, which we'll talk about. And then inside of your workspace, you have what they call a project. Okay, and a project is like a folder, but not really a folder, but for now that will do. And it can hold several classes. Okay, and a class is actually a block of code that can be contained in one file. Okay, and that's good enough for now just to get the idea. Anyway, this is kind of an overview of it. We have our workspace, which you're going to see in just a minute. Inside your workspace, you can have several projects, and inside of each project, you can have several classes. Taking for granted you already downloaded Eclipse. It came in a compressed folder, and I took that compressed folder, opened it up, and it's sitting on my desktop. If I double click on it, you'll see several files in here. Here's the actual executable and things like that. I'm going to show you how I want you to put these in a folder inside your flash drive. And that way, wherever you go, as long as they got JDK installed on your computer, you can use Eclipse. If you look at my flash drive right here, okay, I already added a folder called CO116. Of course, I highly recommend this. You're going to have CO116, CO124, all the classes that you're taking this semester, and I highly recommend to back these up, and at the end of the semester, take them and put them someplace that you can get back at them and reuse them again. What I'm going to suggest is you take and slide your Eclipse folder and put that inside your CO116 folder, okay? I'm not going to do that today because that takes quite a bit of time, and yeah, I think it's a whole lot easier just for you to do it, okay? And let's see, we open this up now. We actually have Eclipse. Sometimes it's kind of a pain to go in there and have to look for it each time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a shortcut on your flash drive for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on Eclipse, and I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to go to the root of your D drive. This is where all your folders are going to show up. We're going to make a shortcut here, so that's where you can go to start it up. Right click, say a new shortcut. And just go ahead and paste that file name in there. You should end up with something like this. And say next, and say finish. Okay? And now you can just go ahead and load Eclipse that way. Now I'm going to load Eclipse. If you double click on it, like that, it looks something like this. It takes a while to load up, and then it comes up with your workspace, okay? We're going to create ourselves a new workspace within our CO116 folder, okay? I'm going to browse, and I'm going to go to my removable and my CO116, which I already created on that previously, okay? Inside of here, you notice here's my Eclipse. I don't want to put it in there. I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call this programs, like that, and say OK, and OK. This will remind, each time that you open it up, it'll remind you of where it is. Be very careful if you're working in a lab, because sometimes if you load Eclipse out there, it'll save it on a desktop, or sometimes play strange, and when you leave the computer, it may be gone, okay? I'm going to explain how to do that in class. You say OK. This is Eclipse. This it looks like. You always get this silly welcome thing. You can actually go into samples and things like that. I usually just close it out like that. A couple different windows in here. Left hand side, you got what they call the Package Explorer. Over here is an outline of your open programs and methods and things in there. And down below here, we're going to see that we're going to actually print out stuff later on, okay? We're going to take and start creating a hierarchy in here, okay? You go to File, and then you say a new, and then you always start with a new project. Seems a little strange right now, but that's okay. Just follow along and you'll catch on. I'm going to be dividing my folders into weeks, okay? I'm going to start with week 1 like that. And you say next, say finish. You can say finished. It creates a folder for you up here. See that right there? And inside there you have a folder called source, okay? We have nothing in here yet, so nothing shows up. But that's actually where your data or your programs will be kept. And now what you want to do, make sure that you're in the week that you want, or the folder that you want to create a new class in, okay? And we're going to go File, New, and this time we're going to do a class right there, okay? A class in Java might be called a program file in another language, okay? We'll talk about that in class too. In here, I'm just going to call it test program. Like that, okay? At first, we're going to start out by actually telling it, yeah, go ahead and put in this public static void main template for us, okay? And I'll show you in just a minute what that is. You say finish. And it creates a template for a program, okay? And notice it's in the package, new week. Don't worry about that for now, okay? But we actually created a public class test program, okay? That's the name of the file. It's also the name of the class, okay? Don't worry too much about that. What happens in this class is we can have many, these are what's called methods, okay? And a method basically carries out a bunch of tasks for us. When you execute a class, it looks for a void main in there, okay? And if it finds it, it actually takes and executes this class or this main method, okay? I'm going to write just a real quick little bit of code here. This is what they call system.out.println. Okay, we're going to say hello world. Like that, okay? And you always have to finish it off with a semicolon. Okay, once you get that done, here's a button up here that you can actually run your code with. I'm going to run that, and it says you want to save and launch it. Yes, you do. And sure enough, down here, that's where it actually prints out the results. What we've done is we've created a little program that just prints out hello world. Once again, as we continue, each week we're going to be creating a new project, okay? And then inside of our source, you can just right click on week 1 and say new and new class, and it will create classes for you inside the source. If you look at your folders on your flash drive, this is what we've done there. Okay, we're inside, of course, our CO116. We've created it didn't save it for me, but we can change that later on, okay? And it created a new workspace called new folder, okay? Don't worry about that. But inside that, we actually have our project. And inside our project, you have to go to the CRC or the source folder. And inside week 1, you're actually going to see testprogram.java, okay? That's what you turn in to me. That's what I want to see when a program is sent in.